Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I wanted to go over a quick update of the Star Citizen Alpha 3.22.1 patch that's currently in Open EPTU, basically the PTU, but you have to select EPTU from the drop-down menu, and a look at distribution centers that are coming in Alpha 3.23 and what we can expect from them. So Alpha 3.22.1 is in Open PTU. There's a few things going on with this. CIG are running regularly the Overdrive dynamic set of events. Basically, this is a set of 5 missions that are pre-Xenothreat, so pre-Xenothreat incursion, which would then potentially run straight after this or a little bit after completing this. Each of these missions takes you through sort of a microcosm of gameplay, from data heist stuff to bounty hunting to an assault on Security Post Korea, all in preparation for Xenothreat updates for Alpha 3.23 as well in the future. CIG have also been attempting to have players board an Idris in that 3.22.1 build, sort of CIG flying around with an Idris, or Idris is just in the game, and they want players to board them because they've got a bit of interior now. And there have now been some successful boardings, because previously players would just blow them up. The CIG were like, we're here, come and try and get this Idris off us, and people would try and disable it, but also then blow it up. But now there have been some successful boarding actions. Zin and I are going to be trying to get involved with boarding Idrises, trying to steal one, having a look at their interior if we can, and looking at that Overdrive event over the weekend. Beyond that, there are a ton of fixes in this patch, and there's lots of Arena Commander updates and Gravlev races, which Zin and I are very bad at. Master modes have had a load of updates for Arena Commander. This is now in Pirate Swarm. There's a load of new AI behaviors, a huge rebalance of a ton of the systems and sort of mechanics for master modes. It's really worth your time playing in that, especially when it goes live, and giving feedback, because this is the future of ship combat. There are a load of ships you can also now fly in master mode tests, and you can also fly them COP, so you can have a gunner in your Vanguard, which that ship works really well with a gunner in master modes. There are a load of known issues in the patch, though, that CIG are attempting to plow through. I'm expecting this patch to be out before the end of the month, but it's going to be a bit hit and miss based on how many of those bugs they solve and what sort of tests they need to do before pushing that patch out. Moving on to Alpha 3.23, there was an Inside Star Citizen distribution allocution, which had CIG talking about their plans for distribution centers, those new landing zones for Alpha 3.23. So distribution centers are first-person shooter, gameplay-focused zones. It's where all of that gameplay comes together. Yeah, there's stuff for ships to do and fly around and be part of assaults or whatever, but it's mainly focused on that FPS gameplay, running around on foot, driving around in vehicles, doing lots of combat and assault, or moving boxes around, cargo management, lots and lots of stuff to do here. Even with the initial release, there's going to be loads of missions associated with these zones and cargo opportunities, but also shopping and maintenance. We're going to be getting the first release of these in Alpha 3.23, and that's planned to be released in April. So what is a distribution center? Well, these are basically microcosms of FPS gameplay, but also landing zones, allowing you to do a load of the stuff that you would be able to do at a normal landing zone, but on a smaller scale, or more, sometimes with limited function. They'll appear over various planets and moons in Stanton and potentially in Pyro. They're going to be owned by different organizations and brands and have different archetypes associated with them based on who owns them and what they're doing. They might be mining something, they might be making something, but they're going to be hives of activity, both with NPCs there and players. Loads of missions you can have there: attack and loot them, clear out enemies. There might be takeovers by the Ninetales or pirates. There can be delivery missions, infiltrations, combat theft, extraction, kill target missions, all going on at the same location at the same time, including things like bombing runs, sort of giving bombers an actual mission-based role for the first time. They showed this off in Inside Star Citizen. I'm not sure if that's actually something we're getting with 3.23, but it looked like we were. There are going to be several distribution centers in Stanton for 3.23. They didn't give us an exact number. Each of them are going to be owned by a different brand, from Sakura Sun to Greycat to Cry Astro. They can be hostile, based on your reputation. Some of them are going to be like, yes, come here, use our facilities, talk to us. Others are going to be like, no, you don't have access to come here, you're trespassing. The exterior of the building each has 2 wings, and on each of those wings there's 2 landing pads and a hangar, and there's also a couple of cargo freight elevators as well, so you can do all your cargo buying and selling and then use the cargo elevators there. There are a load of missions and things to do just on the exterior sections, but on the inside there's a lobby, and then connected to that there's living areas, habs, kitchenette, VIP, meeting rooms, maintenance and vents. There's missions associated with all that, and it's sort of like part of the mission area. There's going to be NPCs sort of living their lives in there too. Below all that, there's a main warehouse. Now, these are also sort of having things connected to them. There's little cargo shops and delivery areas. There's massive storage rooms and areas here. There's a canteen for NPCs to eat at, security areas, side rooms. There are side roads as well leading into the facilities and sort of sections there. Well, there's limited access for vehicles there. You can't, or you're not supposed to be able to bring your vehicles all the way through because there's going to be bollards and things to block them. But there's maintenance areas branching from each of these, and there's sort of 2 wings with a cargo area and shipping depot and security doors. Even now, they're pretty massive areas. They've broken different types of mission and content into 4 groups and sort of 4 types of player and mission types that you might want to do. So there's aggressive lawful, which will have you taking out pirates at a center or defending against an attack that's underway. Basically, you'll join forces with the facility. This is going to be wave-based. There's going to be loads of enemies coming in, and you sort of have to help deal with them. There's unaggressive lawful gameplay. So this is going to be like delivering and hauling land, load it up, deliver it somewhere else, deliver it at another distribution center. There are opportunities to distribute cargo within the same distribution center as well, moving around with like a cargo trolley or whatever. Lots of stuff to actually do at those centers. There's aggressive, unlawful gameplay. So these can be all-out assaults on a distribution center. This will have the full security forces attacking you as well. There's turrets, NPCs, lots of stuff there. You'll want to clear the way, land, and then do your mission. This could be kill a target or loot a package. This sounds a lot like a mini version of the raids that were shown off at CitizenCon, and they're going to be coming later, those raids, but they're also seen in gamers late game, and that type of content is going to have you get together with a group and plan an assault, have powerful ships, steal as much as you can and get out, and it's going to be quite dangerous. High risk, high reward. There's unaggressive lawful as well, and that's basically stealth versions of doing that. So stealthing into a distribution center, stealing data or an item from them, basically a quiet version of those aggressive missions. Now, some distribution centers are, as I said, open to the public, but some you're going to have like a mission there to find them, or potentially high rep. Otherwise, they'd be hostile to you or you'll be trespassing. Distribution centers don't appear to be green zones at all, so you can go in there full guns blazing, but also you may be doing other missions while other players are also doing missions in those areas. They want to tie everything together and bring players together and overlap gameplay here, making an MMO feel like an MMO with a ton of stuff happening. So you may find yourself caught in the middle of a situation that you might not necessarily want to be in, and because it's pull a weapon whenever you want, it can be a bit more dangerous than, say, other missions or being at a normal landing zone, which is effectively a green zone at the moment. There are a load more coming with distribution centers, including more sort of brands and archetypes and missions associated with them, and huge underground structures and networks as part of them, but that's what we're getting for the initial release. Both more gameplay and more centers are going to be put into the game as we approach Alpha 4.0, and there was implications in Inside Star Citizen that the next major patch after 3.23 would be 4.0, so that makes sense, because they said that 4.0 was planned to be a summer release, and obviously 3.23 is a spring release. Boom! That's it for your updates today. I am really interested to know what you think. Are you excited by those distribution centers and that load of gameplay associated with first-person shooter stuff? Loads of stuff to do, potentially loads of missions to do just at the single location that you're at without having to leave it. A lot of gameplay coming together there. Are you excited for the raid-type gameplay that they've got planned for the future? Although it did sound like they've got mini versions of that, just with the aggressive, unlawful gameplay. Are you looking forward to Alpha 3.22.1 and that overdrive mission and those sort of Xenothreat updates that might be coming with 3.23? What about master modes in 3.22.1? Have you had a chance to test them out? Have you been able to play through the overdrive mission? Have you been able to get involved with one of the Idris boarding playtests, or been able to board an Idris otherwise in 3.22.1? Whatever your thoughts or questions, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. People always ask me, what's your favourite ship? And I always answer, it's NordVPN with its powerful loadout. It wrecks pros and noobs alike. I can cruise around the verse with the added security that online threats aren't as much of a big deal. It also deals with intrusive ads like this one and gives you a greater accessibility to content you may want to watch on other platforms. I can watch Japanese Netflix. Is that even a thing? Maybe. You can find out with NordVPN. It is worth mentioning that CIG and Star Citizen don't actually produce a NordVPN ship yet, but NordVPN is available separately from the links below, and clicking those does help me buy spaceships, so it's basically the same thing, right? Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Get Nord, give ships. I don't know. That's an amazing promo. Every month, we give away a ship for Star Citizen. For February 2024, we're giving away a Drake Corsair Explorer with lifetime insurance and a game package. Everything you need to play and explore Star Citizen in style. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during this month. It is as easy as that. More details in the comments below. A massive thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel. It is with your support we are able to make daily Star Citizen videos. If you want to be one of those lovely people, then please check out the join button under my videos. That will help you become a channel member. There's Patreon, there's direct donations. All the links for all of that are down below. But there are loads of non-monetary ways you can help support us. Commenting, sharing, liking, all of that sort of stuff goes a huge way in helping the channel grow. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and you have a great day.